This quote gave me one of those cringy alpha advice videos that you see on TikTok where you're like, who actually believes this? If Dax was real, he would be the one making these videos. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I cannot believe you're back so soon. I feel like it's been a minute since I talked to you. How are you doing? If you don't know who I am, my name is Shanti and I'm so happy to have you here. April is over, so that means it's time for the April reading wrap up. Hey. In April, I read 10 books. I almost said 9 because I'm actually so embarrassed about one book that I read this month and we're gonna get to that. But in January, I read 10 books. I said, I don't even know how I did this. And look at me, I did it again. And you never know, next month I might only read 3 books. I'm going to be yapping, so go ahead and get a snack, get a drink, and let's talk about these books. If you're curious about what I'm reading throughout the month, definitely go ahead and follow me on Fable. I try my best to update what I'm reading on there. So this month I read 4 physical books and 6 were either audiobook or ebook. So I'm very happy about that. Next month I am going to try to read more physical books though, because I need to knock down my physical TBR. The first book that I read was Hunt the Villain by Rina, and that was on my handy dandy Kindle. Every time I read a Rina book, I'm like, how did I get here and why am I reading this? But at the same time, why can't I stop reading it? Rina is one of those authors where I'm like, if I want something unhinged and crazy, I'm gonna pick up a book of hers. So Hunt the Villain is a standalone dark mafia rivals romance. That's a lot. That's a lot in one book. They are like interconnected standalones, so you can read them out of order if you want to, but there's only 2 books out right now, so you should just read it in order. This book was unhinged, but not as crazy as the first one. There were some very concerning things in this book, but I did like this couple better. In this book, we follow our couple, Julian and Vaughn. They're sons of rival mafias, guys. So obviously there's drama there. I'm trying my best to recollect information because I feel like I was in a daze when I was reading this. But they met at some like mafia training camp, right? Something goes down. One of them saves the other. One person just becomes obsessed with the other because of the situation, and we just follow their love story. Both of these characters are actually very crazy, but towards the end I was like, oh, this is so cute. The whole entire time I was reading this, I was like, these two are actually meant for each other, but they need to stay with each other because if they get with anybody else, they're going to ruin their lives. I need them to keep their craziness in one place, you know, and not ruin other people's lives, so they need to stay together. I ended up giving the book 4 stars because through the craziness, I was entertained and I was having a good time. The beginning of the month, I was in dark romance era. I don't know, like it was getting dark. The next book I read is Comfort Me by CJ Sweet. I literally finished Hunt the Villain, like what's going on? What am I doing here? And I jumped straight into this because I was like, I don't know. I mean, we're already here, so you might as well go all the way. I give this book 3 stars and I'm trying to figure out who I would actually recommend this book to. The MMC in this book scared me more than the MMCs in Hunt the Villain, and they were literally like psychopaths. So Comfort Me is a dark fantasy romance book. So I guess a dark romantasy. I knew that there was werewolves, vampires, and those things in here, but other than that, I really had no idea what was going to happen in this book. So our 2 main characters are Elena and Dax. Number 1, Dax is a crazy name. Like you can already see that the man's probably kind of crazy. Elena and Dax are main characters, are werewolf shifters. The book starts where it's time for these wolves to pick their mates. At a certain age, it's time for them to pick their mate. Elena's one of the older wolves. She hasn't found her mate yet, but she has a little fling with somebody in here, and they kind of plan, we're just going to be together. This is where MMC Dax come in. He is the king of werewolves. I had the physical book and I also listened to the audiobook. The narration had me like cringing a little bit. There was literally a point where like he smells her or something. He's like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that narrator do that. Do you guys know those alpha videos where they're trying to give advice about how to be an alpha? That is what Dax gave me. There's this one line in here. Hold on. I need to find it. I found the quote. Let me tell you what this man says. Stop apologizing for existing and start making people sorry for standing in your way. This quote gave me one of those cringy alpha advice videos that you see on TikTok where you're like, who actually believes this? If Dax was real, he would be the one making these videos. And there was so much miscommunication between them. Granted, this is book 1. The book ends off in a cliffhanger, which goes on to book 2. It was entertaining though. I was getting whiplash because I was like, wait. What's going on here? Like what's actually happening? But if this sounds entertaining to you, definitely check it out. Like, I mean, it was a ride. So the next book is Bad Bishop by LJ Shen. Now this is where the months start picking up. I gave this book 4 stars as well. Now let me tell you why. This is your typical mafia romance where our FMC has to get married to the ruthless mafia guy. Tiernan, I said, oh, this man is crazy, but I like him. The way we get introduced to him is that he's in a basement. He's literally getting tortured because he did somebody dirty, right? And this man literally gets his eyeball scooped out of his eye. And he literally just sits there. He's like, can I go home now? Like, I took my punishment. Can I go home now? This man was actually crazy. In the beginning, I was scared of him. But then when he starts softening up, I was like, oh, yes. Yes, 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 yes. For a large chunk of the book, people believe that there's something wrong with her, like mentally, like they think she has a disability, but she's literally acting because her mom did not want her to get married to somebody else. I was literally highlighting so much of this book because Tiernan, he was dropping bars after bars. Let me just read you one of the things that Tiernan says. He said, I didn't miss my other eye often, but when I did, it was because it took me twice as long to watch every atom of my wife's existence every night. To count each of her 33 beauty spots, yes, including the one behind her ear, her 14 freckles, all of them peppered across her celestial nose, all the 20 shades of yellow and silver in her hair. Like I said, this man got his eye scooped out and he was like, you know, I don't miss my eye, but I only miss my eye when I look at my wife because it takes me twice as long to stare at her face. What more do I need to say? 4-star. This was a banger book. Listen, now this book, I don't play about her. Red City by Marie Lu. I keep on saying Mary Lou. Actually, it's Marie Lu. I expected this to be a 5-star book, and a 5-star book it was. Okay, and a 5-star book it was. So Red City is a dark fantasy book. Now, this is Marie Lu's, I think, first adult fantasy book. This book takes place in Los Angeles, but they call it the Angel City. And in this world, there's alchemy. There's a lot of magic. Our main characters are Ari and Sam, and as they grow up, they get exposed to the world of alchemy. But as they get older, they're going through their own personal things. Their life paths change. They both end up working for rival syndicates. Now, I think about this book often because I just want to give them hugs. We know them from when they're kids all the way to adults. And when I tell you that these two go through so much, but they both suffer in silence. They don't know what each other is going through, but they only find peace with each other some way. And the yearning in this book was so good. I watched this video of Marie Lu talking about the love that's in this book, and there are so many different types of love in here. There's obviously romantic love, familial love, there's toxic love, there's exploitation of love, she says. So there's so many things to unpack in this book. And yes, you know, at the end of this book, I did end up shedding some tears. I did. Also, there's going to be a sequel or a second book to this, and it doesn't come out until next year. So I'm actually sick about that. But you know what? I'm going to be waiting patiently. Miss Marie Lu, take your time, do what you have to do, and I will be waiting there. I'll be the first one in line. This is the part of the video where we listen and we don't judge, okay? So my book bestie Lex ended up one day sending me a video on TikTok of these girls on a road trip, and they were reading a whale shifter romance. You heard it, a whale shifter romance. And when she sent me that, I didn't know she was plotting to have me read this book. And then, you know, the next day I'm in a group chat with my girls and they're like, Shanti, let's read it. So I read Moby by Jessa Kane. It's only 88 pages, but it felt like 500. Like it was a hard read, y'all. Our FMC Darla is on vacation with her family, you know, in Hawaii, living it up as she should. And when she's on a boat, she sees a whale in the water. Wow, guys, a whale in the water. For some reason, when she sees this whale, she's like, there's something about his eyes. There's something about this whale's eyes that are pulling me in. She's like, does the whale understand what I'm saying? Mind you, a whale's eyes are like this small on the side of their head. Girl, what are you talking about? Surprise, surprise, later that evening, she's on the beach and a 7-foot naked man walks up to her. Now, what do you do when you're on the beach and a random 7-foot naked man, butt booty naked man, walks up to you? Let's go over the options. Scream, run, fight, scream some more, run some more. Those are natural reactions. But no, Darla's like, oh, hi, sir. She's like, hi. And he goes up to her and he's like, hey. She sees him and she's like, those eyes. We trauma bonded while reading this book. It was actually spooky. Now, the next 2 books you guys know about. So I read The Umbra King by Jamie Applegate Hunter. You guys heard me talk about this book in my last video. I ended up giving a 3.75 stars. The storyline and the plot was pretty good though, and I liked the world that we were in, so I really enjoyed that. And then the next book is Darkest Craving by Rhea Harp. Did not really enjoy this book. I give it a 2-star. The man's name was Wolfgang, y'all. What more do I need to say? Next book is The Name Game by Beth Leary. I knew I was gonna like this book because the concept sounded super cute. I give this book 4.5 stars. This was a great palate cleanser for all that dark stuff I've been reading. The Name Game is a contemporary romance novel. It is about a man and a woman with the same name. They end up getting the same job, and we do not know whose job it actually is. They literally get there, and the girl's like, wait, your name is Charlie Jones? Wait, your name is Charlie Jones too? I don't know which Charlie Jones I hired, so both of y'all stay for a couple months until I figure it out. Both our Charlie Joneses wanted a fresh start in life. That's why they decided to get this job in this small farm town and start brand new. and I love seeing their character development throughout the story. These characters felt very real. The romance was so cute and wholesome. Like, I love seeing their crushes develop for each other. I honestly don't see a lot of people talking about this book. I need more people to talk about this and pick this book up, please. I need a water break. I've been sitting here talking for a hot minute. Next is Aeternum by Jamie Applegate Hunter. Yes, guys, I went ahead and read book 2. This is the book after Umbra King. Overall, it was good. The story did wrap up, but I felt like it was a little repetitive. In the second book, I ended up liking one of the side couples more than the main couple. I hope she comes out with another book and it's Sam's story. I love Sam, and at the end of that book, I started tearing up because of Sam. Not even because of the main couple, but overall, the story was entertaining. The plot had me there, so that's what saved it. And I gave it a 3.75 star. We're finally at the last book. Kimberly Lemming is one of my favorite monster romance authors, and I received the arc for her newest book that's going to come out in August. When I got this book, I was shook. This is I Punched an Alien and Now We're in Couples Therapy. All the FMCs that she writes, I love. They're not pushovers. They stand on business, but they're also very relatable, and all of them are Black women. I just love everything. I just love everything. My Laugh Out Loud tab is green, and as you can see, there's a lot of greens. But be on the lookout, August 18th, this is coming out, and I can't wait for everybody to read it and go through what I went through. All my monster romance book lovers, stand up, girl. Stand up in August and read this book. Those are the 10 books that I read in the month of April. Let me know if you have read any of these books and what you think about them. Also, let me know how many books you read in April. I want to know. I want to be nosy. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. And that is all I have for you guys today. See you in the next video. Bye.